Welcome, lovers. Today I want to talk about the two core needs that any woman has and how this relates to the types of men that she attracts. Now, both men, as we'll discover, have incomplete strategies that will lead to failure, that will lead to their relationship ending in some point, in some way. And what I really want to convey today is what both types of men can actually learn from each other. Now, my name is Sanne. I work as an erotic massage therapist. So women come to me, and what I learn in my practice and what I've been learning in my decades-long journey, I teach to men as an intimacy coach. I want any man, any woman to have the most deeply connected, intimate, passion-fueled relationship that they can have. And that's really what we're here to talk about. So, what are the two needs that every single woman has? This might not come as a surprise, but she has a need for security on one side and passion on the other side. Now, let's explore both and how that relates to the type of men she wants to attract. Obviously, a need for security. This basically happens when a woman feels like she's ready to start her nest, build her home, start a family, or at least settle down. And this might happen in any stage of her life. She might be in her 20s, it might be later on in life. It doesn't matter how old a woman is. Eventually, she will find a need for security in herself. And that was when she will start looking for a very specific type of man. What type of man is she looking for that can bring her security? What are his traits? Well, obviously, he's reliable. He can give her a sense of stability. He has a sense of safety about him, predictability. He's at least emotionally aware to a certain degree. He's cooperative. He's gentle, supportive, nurturing. Everything you actually want from like a loving father, a loving partner. It should not come as any surprise that the man that embodies a lot of these traits is the nice guy. The nice guy has probably been waiting for quite a long time for a woman to actually notice him. I know I'm being very harsh here, but it is what it is. I used to be a nice guy, so I know the struggle very much. And now suddenly he meets a woman that is actually available to start a relationship with him. And this will probably make him very excited, very happy, because he finally has what he wants. He finally has a woman, he finally has a relationship. But he's also quickly going to discover that comes with a certain amount of downsides, because the nice guy has some limitations in himself that basically are going to slowly erode the relationship. To begin with, he has a fear of conflict, he has a fear of rejection, and he has an inability to deal with tension, which is why he wasn't able to attract a woman in the first place. Nice guys tend to be quite people-pleasing, approval-seeking. He needs a lot of validation from her, which leads to over-accommodating her needs. And all of that stems from a suppressed desire. He's not very straightforward about what he wants, and he's definitely not very straightforward about his sexual hunger for her. Again, a reason why he wasn't really successful with her in the first place. The nice guy is still good at creating comfort. He's very good at companionship. He's very good at providing emotional support, domestic stability, which all leads into a safe nest, which is obviously what she's looking for if she's looking for security. Now, what he lacks is a sense of mystery. He's very bad at creating erotic tension. The polarity in his relationship is probably a little bit skewed. She's probably a little bit more dominant. She's probably taking the lead of the relationship a little bit more. He is generally probably not that exciting, and he lacks a sense of adventure. His biggest flaw really is that he provides a lot of security, but no passion, or at least very little passion. And I'm not going to say there was no passion in the very beginning, but because the woman was not actually looking for a lover, she was looking for a mate to start a family with. Whatever excitement was there in the beginning will probably quickly dissipate, which leads into relationships that are more about friendship, this classic brother-sister dynamics, or maybe even worse, mother-son dynamics. It's an unfortunate state because, again, the nice guy was so happy to finally be in a relationship, but the relationship will be stale, it will be boring, and it will be passionless. It is a tragic end for the nice guy. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have passion. Eventually, she will want passion, which is all about this sense of romance, this sense of mystique, this sense of intrigue. Now, again, it doesn't matter how old a woman is. If she's looking for passion, she could be in her 20s, she could be just like wanting to enjoy life. She could have already had her boring, passionless relationship and is now looking to catch up. Now, what traits does a passionate man have? He's emotionally intense, not stable, but intense. He's exciting, he's adventurous, he has a mysterious quality to him. He tends to be independent, bold, confident, and he is definitely direct about his desire, his hunger for her. It goes without saying that this is the territory of the bad boy. He's the one who's really going to swoop in there, who has the courage to step up there, make himself known, and that will get him places, because at least he's taking the action that the nice guy is not doing. Unfortunately, the bad boy is also riddled with a lot of limitations. He also has a lot of shadows, some of them being a deeply rooted fear of commitment, a fear of vulnerability, an avoidance of responsibility. He really fears responsibility. He never really lets people in, so he creates an emotional distance. He values his independence, his freedom above everything. He might be a good lover, he might be good in the bedroom, but he has a lot of trouble with intimacy, with emotional closeness, with opening his heart. Now, he is very good at creating the sexual polarity. This leading energy is very good at that, which creates a lot of passion, which creates a lot of excitement, and all of these things we already mentioned. What he lacks is stability in himself, stability in his lifestyle. He usually does not provide a lot of emotional safety. He's not really reliable, and through that, he cannot really establish a long-term trust. Now, his biggest flaw is that he can create a lot of passion, but little security, which leads to a lot of his relationships devolving into drama, into chaos, into burning out, and a lot of wounding happening in the process. So something that I see a lot in my coaching practice, and you definitely see a lot of online as well, is that both archetypes actually have a lot of disdain for the other side. The nice guy, he thinks that the bad boy is disrespectful, selfish, immature, irresponsible, arrogant, reckless, all these kind of things. He believes that masculinity should be kind, respectful, and responsible, and the bad boy, in contrast, appears to be toxic and destructive. The bad boy, on the other hand, thinks that nice guys are weak, they are spineless, they are boring, needy, submissive, sexually repressed, all these kind of things. Bad boys tend to believe that masculinity is all about strength, dominance, and expressing your desire and going for what you want, and so the nice guy appears emasculated in their eyes. And to be fair, both have a semblance of truth in there. There are certain limitations that both sides have, and they are both incomplete strategies. But that is the whole point. Both of their strategies are incomplete. Both types of men are still incomplete. They're not fully realized men as they should be, as they could be. The point of the matter is that when we go back to what we started with, that a woman wants both security and passion, then the nice guy falls into the trap of mostly providing security, and eventually the woman will need passion in her life, and she will find it. She will find it with other men or by leaving the relationship completely. And basically the same thing is true with the bad boy. If he can only provide passion, she eventually will search for security. She might find a nice guy to have some emotional support with, or eventually she will leave the bad boy as well. So both strategies actually fail in the end. What is interesting about this is that both men actually have a winning strategy, in the sense that they are both capable of attracting a woman at various stages in that woman's life, depending on what she needs. But because their strategies are incomplete, she will still eventually leave him. Obviously, what flows out of that is that the bad boy and the nice guy, instead of being in conflict with each other, should actually be supporting each other and helping each other out. Because the combination of the two is actually the thing that women are deeply, deeply after. That's the type of man that they crave. The man that has both the positive qualities of the nice guy and the bad boy, and has sanded down the weaknesses of both. And if you really think about it, if you go back a little bit in the video, you can see that the weaknesses of both types of men are complementary, and the strengths of both men are complementary as well. And this is really what a lot of the animosity that these two groups of men have towards each other is really about. They are actually jealous of the other side. The nice guy is jealous of the fact that the bad boy is sexually expressive, that he's bold enough to go for what he desires because the nice guy is too afraid to do that. And the bad boy, if he's honest with himself, he actually really likes that the nice guy is emotionally stable, that he has the capacity to have this intimate bond with a woman that the bad boy is not capable of having. If you are already in a relationship, regardless of what side you are on, if you care enough for it to last, you have to really start thinking, which of these two sides am I not inhabiting enough? What am I not giving her enough? Am I not giving her enough security, or am I not giving her enough passion right now? And another thing that I really want to convey is that we are in an unnecessary conflict between the nice guy and the bad boy, because both sides are incomplete forms of masculinity, and that the combination of both is what we should all be striving for. If we want to be complete men, if we want to be complete partners, if we want to be complete lovers, we have to merge the two sides. And once a man does that, we call him a warrior of love. He is the fusion of both, and he has worked on the negative elements of both. Now, this is a journey that takes quite a lot of time, and it is probably one of the hardest journeys a man can go on, but it is so incredibly valuable. And once you can get there, it's really a beautiful place to be. Because first of all, you will find a lot of peace in yourself. You'll no longer struggle with this whole freedom versus commitment problem that a lot of men also tend to have. Women will start to respond to you incredibly differently, even better than the responses that the bad boy has. Because suddenly you can provide a woman with everything that she's actually looking for. And that is going to make your life so much easier and so much nicer. Now, all of what I just said, I know I phrased it in the context of relationship, but a warrior of love does not necessarily have to be in a relationship, right? The thing is that he embodies all of these positive traits, and he can bring that to a woman, and he can provide her with the things that she needs, even if it is just for a limited amount of time. If you want to develop yourself into this warrior of love, this fusion, this merger of the two, this is really what my community F.I.R.E Unleashed is all about. I want every man to have the most passionate, alive, exciting, intimate life that they can have. And I want them to have the ability to create long-lasting relationships. If that excites you, press the subscribe button, engage in the comments, leave a like, hit the bell icon, do all the things. I had so much fun making my silly little slides. So if you enjoyed that, if you want to stick around, if you are interested in becoming a man that is amazing with women, that is this unforgettable lover, and in the meantime, maturing as a man himself, like becoming more grounded, becoming more peaceful, becoming more confident, join my community. That's what we're all about. I'd love to have you there. My name is Sanne. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.